Hello, I'm Jan Rudge, Director of Leadership Edge Coaching in School. And today I'm going to share with you 3 conversations I've recently had with 2 newly qualified teachers and 1 recently qualified teacher, all of whom are members of staff at East Park Academy in Wolverhampton. East Park has a very strong coaching culture, and for these 3 members of staff, it was their first opportunity to become part of that. They were asked to take part in our foundation stage accreditation, and this has involved them having a coach, reflecting on their coaching sessions, recording their thinking in writing, and then having a final conversation with myself about the process that they've been through. I hope that you find their responses thought-provoking and interesting. Okay, Liz, so you're a newly qualified teacher in what has been a very strange year for all newly qualified teachers. And through it, you have had your own coach. So talk me through what it was like when your head teacher, first of all, approached the fact that would you like a coach to see you through this year, and what your understanding of coaching was.
Well, because of the school environment that I'm in, I knew that coaching was a really positive thing to have. So I saw it as a positive, and I jumped at the chance to have a coach as soon as it was mentioned that would you like to have one? And it was something that I really wanted to do. But I think because it's a whole, it's like a coaching ethos in this school that really reassured me that this is a good thing that they're offering this to me. So it was something that I really wanted to do.
Did you understand the difference between coaching and mentoring when you got offered a coach?
Not a bit, yes, but then after talking through it and having a bit of training on it, then I understood fully like the difference between the two, and having a mentor as well, and then seeing how it was different to have a coach was I was able to see the difference between the two of them. Then it made me have a completely different perspective on the whole teaching, going through my NQT year, and then having like the confidence and I came to like the understanding that actually I do have quite a lot of answers to these problems and how to go about things, and to having a step back and having all that time to like reflect on everything and look at all the positives. So my coach made me look at the positives of situations, and I was in quite a positive mindset then after having the coach, and it really empowered me, feeling like, okay, I have got this. There's a lot of things that are going well and things that aren't going so well. Actually, I do have the answers as to how to improve that or make it better or work towards achieving the goal that I wanted to achieve.
Great. So, one of the things that your coach will have done will have really listened to you. Talk to me about the difference between really being listened to and just normal conversation that you might have at school.
I felt like when he was listening not just to hear me talk, he was listening to understand what I was saying. So he was really trying to understand like where I was and what I wanted from a certain situation or where I wanted to go with it. He was trying to understand everything that I was saying to him and understand my thinking behind things or my thinking process, and knowing that someone was actually like really intently listening to you made me feel like how I felt and what I was feeling, it mattered, and It wasn't like silly to feel those things. Actually it's fine to feel like that, and it just made me I knew that it mattered that I felt like that, and that I wasn't being judged for it. He was really listening and understanding where I was coming from.
How did your coaching sessions support you by the type of questions Kieran was putting to you?
It opened up, like in my brain, it sort of opened up this new area, if you like, because it made me think on a deeper level. And it was, the questions that he asked made me really think about what was going on and what was happening, not just like surface level, but really deeply, and understand what was happening and where I wanted to go. And he'd always start off asking me something like, what's going well? What's gone well this week? And that put me then in a positive mindset. And because I was then talking about things that were going well and it made me more positive and happy, then I was in the right mindset then to tackle the things that weren't going so well, because I got a positive outlook from the beginning of my coaching session. So then I was able to go, okay, these are some of the things that aren't going so well, but I can see that there's a way forward and I can move forward. But it's because of him making me think about the things that were going well at the start, I was in that right mindset then to tackle any challenges.
Great stuff. And as a bit of a by the by, has that in any way influenced how you teach in the classroom? And the way you ask questions?
Yeah, it does actually. I ask different styles of questions now to the children and get them to think differently, and I don't just give them the answers. I make them come up with their own. So what could you do about that?
You've spent the year having a coach, some of it while you were in the classroom, some of it during lockdown and now beyond. So talk to me about the impact that coaching has actually had on you, either personally or professionally, or both.
It's had an impact both personally and professionally, to be fair. It's helped me. I feel like it's helped me develop and grow quicker than I would have if I hadn't have had a coach. And having the two, having a mentor, my NQT mentor, and then having a coach, it's really helped me, because my mentor was able to say, well, do my observations, tell me what went well, or tell me where I could improve. But having the coach, it made me think about how I can improve, not just rely on somebody to tell me that. So it was making me think about what was happening and where to go with it. And just coming up with like solutions for personal things as well, like things that could be quite menial but actually has an impact on my daily life, like childcare and things like that. Like having that time and that space to speak about that and come up with solutions, not just panic about things, that helped with my personal life, which then helped with my professional life as well.
You talked here about setting a small goal each week. Tell me a little bit about, the end of your sessions and what's happened after sessions.
At the so I'd always have like a big goal in mind, or sometimes I wouldn't, I'd just have small ones. But even if it was a big goal, my coach would make me break it down into small chunks so that I knew that each week I was going to achieve something towards the bigger goal, because otherwise it was kind of like you're not achieving anything, you're just working towards it. But having those smaller chunks to be able to go away and have a set time and a set date on when I'm going to do things. And he'd always ask me at the end of my session, so when are you going to do that?
Oh, good.
And that made me then feel like, oh, I've got to commit to this. I've got to commit to this, and I've got to go away and do it, which was good because it did make me go and do it. And then when I came back, and I knew that he was going to ask me in my next session to reflect on it. So I knew that all that was going to happen. So it would make me think, okay, shoulders back, let's go and tackle it. Go and tackle it. And then, so at the end of the session, he'd ask me that, and it made me commit to what was going to happen.
You've done this in your NQT year. There are not many NQTs that have a coach.
Yeah.
And like you say, you are in a school with a coaching culture. But if someone speaks to you about coaching, whether it be someone who's going to be an NQT next year or another colleague, what would you say to them?
I would absolutely recommend they have one. I think, especially in your NQT year, to have those two, your mentor and your coach, to have the difference in that, to have somebody believe in you almost, or know that you deep down, you have the answers. And like, even if you doubt or have self-doubt, it's time to reflect on everything and to really empower yourself, to know that I do have the answers to this and I can move forward with it.